Hello Crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so glad you're joining me again today. Today I am back with another card video and blog post for Reverse Confetti, showing off some of my favorite Christmas products to make this rainbow Christmas card. I'm going to use the same technique I used in last week's video for Reverse Confetti, which was for the blog hop. And I'm doing some die cut inlay technique. And for this, I die cut the 3 confetti cuts die from a panel of white cardstock, and now I am using those positive spaces that I will inlay into the card later, and I am coloring those with the Reverse Confetti ink cubes. I will list all the colors of inks I used in the description below. Now, to do this die cut inlay technique, I always start by gluing a piece of extra cardstock behind my die cut panel. And I do this by putting the glue on the back of the die cut panel, so I make sure that no glue is exposed through the openings. And then I can put that all together, and only then do I put the glue in the openings one by one, and I can inlay all my colorful pieces. Now you can see that after drying, the ink evens out nicely, so it's not splotchy at all. It's very vibrant, but it does dry back quite a bit, so it's not as dark as it went on. So you don't have to be scared when your color comes out a lot darker than you intended it to when you go straight to the paper with your ink cube. And I'm going to pair this rainbow tree with some of the cute, adorable little images from the Polar Party stamp set that came out in the latest release from Reverse Confetti. And I stamped those in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, any Copic friendly ink will do, and I'm coloring them in with my alcohol markers. I've had a couple of questions about the markers I use. I use the twin markers by Decotime Crafts. They are really cheap. They are available at our version of the dollar store basically, but they work perfectly fine. They just don't have that really nice brush nib that the Copics do. And the coloring system also is a little bit confusing, as in there is none. But if you just figure out your blends on your own, which is fun to do, I think. I like to experiment with my coloring supplies like that and figure out my own combinations. So that's fun for me, but you do have to figure those out yourself if you go for budget markers like this. The other drawback is that you can't buy refills or that you can't buy those markers separately. So if you run out of a color with budget markers, you most likely have to buy quite a big set just to replace one marker, which is obviously annoying and a waste of money. But overall, these are great markers. I think they do perfectly fine what I want them to do, so I am happy with these. But any budget marker will most likely function the same way. You most likely will get a bullet nib instead of a brush nib, and either a really low quality brush nib like I have on some of these, or a chisel nib. And by low quality brush nib, I mean that they are actually made up of bristles. They are felt brush nibs, so they might split apart while you're coloring and they fray after a while. They're just not the same kind of nib that you find on a Copic marker. Now back to the card. I put a couple of pieces of extra cardstock behind that panel to prop it up and give it some dimension. And for my critters, I used some foam tape to prop them up. I used 1 layer of foam tape behind the bear and 2 layers of foam tape behind the penguin. And now all that's left to do is add some sparkle and shine and decorate my rainbow Christmas tree. And I'm doing that with the Majestic sequins by Studio Katia. They're actually the Majestic confetti. I always mess that up. They're the Majestic confetti embellishments by Studio Katia. And I'm just arranging those with my jewel picker. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I can glue them down with the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And at the top of the tree, I used a holographic star gem, and this is by Crafty Meraki. It's the Snowflake Meraki Sparkle gems. These are really beautiful. They are obviously meant as snowflakes, but I use them as stars all the time. With cards this simple, I like to focus on the tiny details and add some more sparkle to them. So on the bow of the present that the bear is holding and on the scarf of the penguin, I added some Wink of Stella brush pen just to add some sparkle. And I'm also adding some glossy accents to the nose of the bear and to the beak of the penguin and his little feet. And that's pretty much going to finish this card, but don't leave yet. I am also going to make a matching envelope, and that will show you another way to create this exact same rainbow Christmas tree, but a little bit quicker maybe. So I already folded my envelope. I just forgot to turn the camera back on for that part. And then I die cut this tree confetti cuts die from some glossy cardstock. You don't have to cut it from glossy cardstock. This is just what I have in my stash, and it's perfect for stenciling. So I am using this as a stencil, and I'm using the exact same inks as before to just blend them on. I am only masking off the stripe that is above the one I'm blending then, because I am really careful with where I'm blending. It also doesn't matter as much with the color below because usually that color is darker. I only had to be a little bit careful with the green and the orange there. So that's a really easy way to make this rainbow Christmas tree as well. I just really like the look of inlay die cutting too, so I had to do that for my card, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you like it too. I really love these polar party animals. They are so adorable, and I can't wait to make all of my Christmas cards with them. I am slightly obsessed with this stamp set. Anyway, I hope you liked the card and I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them. If you're as much a fan of reverse confetti as I am, I have a whole playlist of just reverse confetti videos on my channel. This one is part of it, so just make sure you check that out if you want to see some more reverse confetti content. And of course, you can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.